we don't, in my office, we don't file lawsuits all the time, right? We're very careful. We want, first of all, we don't want to stress the person. It is very stressful to go through a lawsuit. I have a friend who was telling me about her suit against her company, which is a big company, 7 years. Can you imagine? And then how are you supposed to go forward? And while you're going forward, you're still looking back, and they've got hooks in you. And now she stuck it out, and she ended up getting a good settlement, and I'm very proud of her for doing that. But most of the people I deal with, they're just not in that place. So what I try to do is say, let's fix this the best that we can. Let's see what we can get. And I always say, get the best offer without having to sue. And when I'm convinced that that's where they are, I'll tell them, we've done the best that we can here. Now, having said that, I have a really good whistleblower case that we're going to be filing this week. It's the best case of its type that I've ever done.
Mhm.
New Jersey's version of that is you were in a company, you saw something, you told it to someone, usually a manager, the board, the boss, the whoever, and they may investigate, may not investigate, but either way, they fire you. They're like, we don't like that you said that because that makes us look bad, or it might make us look bad. It's unlawful. It's as bad as discrimination. It's just a different kind. It's discriminating. New Jersey protects whistleblowers because they do it on behalf of society. If Ken Lang points out poison coming out of the wastewater treatment in Fairlawn to the wastewater treatment in Fairlawn, where he's a worker, and they fire him and continue to do what they were doing, all of us are worse off for it. So this woman was a high level financial person in a company, found fraud, reported the fraud. The fraud was investigated. It was whitewashed, and she was walked out the door. That's a good case, right? But a lot of these cases, they can't afford it. The people, they can't afford the time, the stress. And I say to them, then don't do it. You know, you don't owe it to yourself to embroil yourself in a lawsuit. And by the way, at the end of the day, you could lose. Can you imagine? And then on top of all of that, almost everything that happens in the court system today is public knowledge. So the press finds out about it. The next employer finds out about it. Right? We had a kid from Princeton we represented some years ago who was involved in some very nefarious behavior, ended up moving to a totally different part of the country. And he says to me, my life is ruined. If you type my name in, you're going to find what happened. Right? So that's a very strong follow on. So you have, frankly, the only people who it's worth suing with as a client, they have to be built like a battle tank. They have to love to fight. Bring it on. The more you do it, the better I like it. Not everybody is like that. So it's perfectly okay to make your best deal and walk.